Okay, what's going on guys, Hornot606 here, and depending when this video goes out, either just towards the end of 2020 or maybe a few days into 2021, whenever it goes out, so I'm going to be picking my top 5 favorite figures of 2020. My favorites. Main decision going into it is what they mean to me, and everything else just comes second, articulation, detail, because obviously I'm not just picking from one particular brand of figures. I'm picking from a variety of figures, so it won't be fair for me to put them into an order or say that this figure is better, because that's going to be very difficult, because each figures come at different price points and different levels of articulation, different levels of detail. So mostly it's just going to be what it means to me. So what we're going to do is fill up the display, as many figures as I can get out, maybe 20 to 26 figures or so roughly. Once it's all full, I'm going to pick them off one by one or two by two, and until we get down to top 10, and keep going, because it's going to get more difficult as we go along, until I get my 5 personal favorite figures of 2020. These are all figures that I have picked up in 2020 that are in my collection, again ranging from Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Marvel Legends, Transformers, S.H.Figuarts, Figuarts standard stuff, NECA stuff, so quite a wide variety of stuff. I've also started collecting the odd Star Wars Black series. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but actually I think they've started to pique my interest a little bit. So here's my display, and we're gonna start kicking it off with eliminating some figures. So the first, for me, the easiest to eliminate straight off the bat is some of the Power Ranger figures. So the Black Ranger, the In Space Ranger, the Zeo Ranger. Some of these were a recent pickup, but they all have the same kind of level of articulation. Power Rangers I'm a big fan of the Power Ranger series, but what it really comes down to is the overall design of the actual costumes and characters and the series is based on. So I also want to eliminate S.H.Figuarts Vegito. It's just kind of like having another Goku. I don't really find anything special about the figure, so that's why I'm eliminating it here. Green Goblin, it's an okay figure. I have no problems with it. I'm glad to have another Spider-Man villain, but it doesn't really do anything for me, so I'm just going to eliminate that as well. So where are we now? Let's see what we're going to eliminate next. The Halo figure, which I actually picked up not too long ago. I don't have too many Halo figures. I had the old PlayArts Kai stuff. I had a few of those, not much, but I got this one, and this is okay. It could be better. It's a bit loose in places, and it could have some better articulation. It's not one of my top 5s. The Figuarts Standard Black Wall Greymon. It's the second Digimon figure, and it's the second model kit that I have bought in the Figuarts Standards series of stuff. It's a bit fiddly and it doesn't have the best articulation. If the Metal Garurumon version I had, then that would definitely be somewhere in my top 5, but I don't have that. So War Greymon's out of here. So moving on, let's see now. Let's eliminate some of these Transformers stuff. So again, amazing work that Hasbro have done with the kind of Earthrise stuff, and I like the whole Gigawatt, the tie-in with Back to the Future stuff. But none of these 2 figures are my top 5s. They're great figures, but I think there are some better Transformers out there, such as Breakdown, who's also going to be eliminated as well. Technically this figure is a re-release. It came out a number of years ago, but it got re-released recently this year, and I did manage to pick it up, and it is a superb figure. It was hard to get in the past. I did have the Silas version in the past. I still have the Silas version, but I wanted this one as well. The Prime series of figures was really good, and I'm glad to finally get a Breakdown, which was one of the final figures that I was missing in that Transformers Prime selection of figures. I'm going to get rid of Old Man Logan, or Old Man Wolverine. Comes in the 2-pack with Hawkeye, who you see in the back there. It's a great figure. It's a great 2-pack, but Wolverine is not one of the top 5s that's going to be in my top 5 favorites. Again, Hulk, love the Red Hulk, I love the Green Hulk, I love the Grey Hulk. They did some fantastic stuff with the whole Hulk stuff, but not one of my top 5s. Since Phage has fallen over, I'm going to eliminate him next. I'm not too familiar with the character, but I love the design. I love the paintwork and what they've done and the detail and stuff. But I'm not familiar with the character, and so I'm going to eliminate him. So we are working our way down. There's a number of figures that I think I can easily just pick out. Things like Mysterio there in the back, great figure. King Spinks as well. I think is a good, nice, chunky figure. King Spinks is, but there's some, like the paint detail with the black on the nose and the mouth is missing for some reason, and it makes the figure look kind of, in my eyes, look kind of weird. It makes him not look like the King Spinks that I'm familiar with. So as I said before, I mentioned Mysterio. A great, nice to have some Spider-Man villains. I've been wanting a Mysterio in my collection for ages, and I'm glad they re-released it in the retro wave. It doesn't really come with much stuff, so it's going to get eliminated. It's not really one of my top 5s. Going to eliminate Spider-Man next. I love what they've done with the articulation. Probably one of the best Spider-Man figures that they have released so far. But I didn't like the way the head was done much, that the gappage, especially when you tilt it up and stuff. So I'm going to eliminate that. I actually like the Cyborg Spider-Man much better. But again, neither one is my top 5. But I do love the Cyborg design. It's something different that they have done. So where are we now? We're almost getting down to 10. I'm looking at eliminating the S.H.Figuarts Ultra Instinct Goku. Again, it's another Goku figure, but I love that the battle damage is nice to have another version of Goku. But you know what, I'm starting to prefer other characters from the Dragon Ball series other than Goku. So we are now getting there. I'm thinking of eliminating the Hellfire Guard or Goon in the back there. I love having figures that you can army build, and I have picked up like 3 of these Hellfire Club guards, and along with a number of other army building figures like putties and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but I like army building. I wasn't too into that before, but I've started to get into that. But it's a great figure, but it didn't really do anything for me. So here we are down to the top 10. Down to 10. It's only going to get harder from here. I've loved all the figures that we've seen so far, but I can only have 5. 5 of my favorite figures that came out in 2020 that I picked up. So I'm looking at the Transformers Selects Megatron there. I love what they've done with it. They've taken a mold that I didn't really like, which was the old Galvatron from Titan's Return, but for some reason I like it here, and I think they've done some Takara have done some great stuff with this Megatron, and it retains that Megatron look but has a radically different design. And I kind of wish they continued to go down that route instead of always playing on the nostalgia of the G1 stuff. So as much as I do love it, it's not my top 5 favorites. It's getting very hard to choose, but it's not one of my top 5 favorites. But I do like the details. I do like the various molds it has. Again, it retains that Megatron look, but with an awesome looking design. So it's going to get harder here. I'm looking at the Ginyu and the Jurin. I really love both of those figures. They're both recent pickups for me. A lot of these figures here, well, not a lot of them. I think the Hawkeye, the Jurin, the Ginyu, the NECA Shredder, the Mandalorian, those are all very recent pickups. I haven't had a lot of time to play with them, play around with them, as I usually would do, taking various photos and stuff like that. But they have grown on me very quickly. I'm also looking at the War Machine and the Dark Beast. They are very awesome figures, but I just don't know. I think I'm going to get rid of the Ginyu. Again, I love the fact that they finally, you know, creating some other characters in the S.H.Figuarts line based on Dragon Ball Z. And I can't wait to get the rest of the Ginyu Force. But I think I like the Jiren figure a lot more than I do the Ginyu figure. And by no means am I picking any of these figures in any order, because that's going to be very difficult to do. Just picking them out. They're not my top 5. I'm now looking at the War Machine, as I said before, and the Dark Beast. I love what they've done with War Machine. It is a superb looking figure, nicely articulated, I think nicely detailed, comes with a great range of accessories. Dark Beast is just an awesome design. He can come with no accessories and he just looks awesome. The Dynafonda white, again, if you can get the helmet painted, he's an awesome looking figure. One of the best designed Power Ranger figures, one of the best Power Ranger design costumes that I've seen. After hard deliberation, I'm going to eliminate War Machine and Dark Beast. Very hard choice, but some of the other figures I prefer a lot more. So I'm just going to leave it at that. They are awesome figures, but not my top 5 favorites of 2020. They're all my. I love all the figures, but I can only pick 5. So now I have to eliminate one more just to get down to 5. And it's a toss-up between the Mandalorian and Hawkeye for me. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but the Star Wars stuff has grown on me. I love what NECA have done with the TMNT stuff. It is just at the price point. I don't know how they do it. They deliver such great looking figures with a decent range of articulation at such a good price point, very low price point. The Hawkeye, as much as I love that, I thought I would love it more, and I do, but I think I love things like the Dynafonda. I think things like Transformers, Power Rangers mean more to me, because I grew up watching a lot more of that stuff, which means I might have to just eliminate the Hawkeye. I mean, it's a great Hawkeye, one of the best that I've seen. I have the old comic book version, and this version just blows it out of the water. I love the Dynafonda. If you can get the painted helmet, the correctly painted helmet from Hasbro, it is an awesome designed figure, no doubt about it. I love what Hasbro have done with the Earthrise Transformer stuff, especially the Optimus Prime. I didn't think it could get any better than Siege, but they proved me wrong, and they added just a little bit more to the Optimus Prime for the Earthrise version, and it is awesome. One of the best things. Again, for the price point, they've done very well with some of the Earthrise stuff. And then there's the Black Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Again, kind of something that sneaked up on me. I didn't think I would like it that much based on some of the early Star Wars Black Series stuff I was collecting. But anyway, here are my top 5. I've eliminated the Hawkeye. I'm going with the Dynafonda White, the Mandalorian, S.H.Figuarts Jiren, Earthrise Optimus Prime, and of course the NECA Shredder. NECA have done some awesome work with the TMNT stuff, and a lot of the stuff they do. But again, this is in no particular order, but these are my top 5 favorites that I've collected this year. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.